No, we've had a very positive, forward-looking relationship, and I hope and expect that will continue. And we're going to continue to try and find common ground whenever and wherever possible. And it is important, I think, for there to be consistent communication between House Democrats and House Republicans at every level, and that consistent communication has been robust as between Speaker McCarthy and myself. We'll always, as he said publicly and I've said publicly, try to find opportunities to partner, but we're going to agree to disagree and strongly disagree on several issues, as we have with respect to the Intel Committee assignments. But that doesn't mean that we can't try to find common ground, it's my view, whenever and wherever possible, when we can make a meaningful difference for the American people. By the way, that's what Speaker Pelosi has always done. That's what Leader Schumer has always done. President Biden certainly has always done that, which is why many of our successful legislative accomplishments, gun safety legislation for the first time in American history, the Respect for Marriage Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, they were all bipartisan, mostly in the Senate, but a handful of Republicans supporting our efforts in the House as well. So we have a track record that demonstrates our willingness to find common ground. And if I can be part of extending that track record, having a working relationship with Speaker McCarthy, I think that's the responsible thing to do for the American people. I'll go to the third row because I've been a little front row heavy here. Okay. Yeah.
You had called for a post-mortem on what happened in New York after the election. We're about 2 months out now. Do you see any progress on that post-mortem and any evaluations as to what has happened?
Well, I think it is our hope as a delegation. We're a little bit less than a month into the year. And by delegation, I'm referring to the New York delegation, to have a serious, substantive conversation with the governor and with Chairman Jay Jacobs sooner rather than later about the after-action analysis that I believe is underway, has been completed in some areas, but independently, I know the members of the New York delegation are going to have our own thoughts about what needs to happen so that there's a better outcome in New York in 2024.
Last question.
Go to the back. All right, so I'll go to the second row here.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you about...
We'll do the two of you. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. So some of your members from the Midwest held a press conference yesterday at the Heartland Caucus, led by Debbie Dingell. They're saying that they want more representation in leadership, as I'm sure you're aware of. I just want to ask, what kind of dialogue are you having with your members to make sure everyone feels like their voice is heard within the caucus?
I had a very good conversation with Representative Dingell about this yesterday, a very good conversation earlier this morning with Representative Marcy Kaptur. I respect both of them. They really do authentically care about, as do all of us, but they authentically care about the heartland communities that they effectively represent. And I think we've got some pretty strong representatives within House Democratic leadership from the heartland. Dan Kildee, co-chair of Steering and Policy from the great state of Michigan, battleground frontline member, but he's at the leadership table and he's going to work with us on these issues. Dean Phillips from Minnesota, co-chair, Democratic Policy and Communications Committee. He obviously represents a heartland state, cares deeply about these issues. He's at the leadership table. We're going to continue to work strongly with him. Lauren Underwood represents an exurban district in Illinois, heartland state. She's co-chair of Democratic Policy and Communications Committee. She's going to be deeply involved in this effort. So we've got some pretty strong heartland representation at the leadership table that will continue to be sensitive to these issues. But we look forward to lifting up all parts of America. That's the thing about House Democrats. We actually just care about making life better for everyday Americans. Lower costs, better paying jobs, safer communities. People over politics. That is what unites us as House Democrats. And we will lean into doing that in the heartland of America. Okay, last question.
So, speaking of common ground, the weaponization of government subcommittee. We saw the Republican names this week. When do you expect to have Democrat names for that? And how big of a role do you feel like Democrats are going to be able to play?
It's my expectation that we will be actively involved in pushing back against any efforts to obstruct justice through the weaponization subcommittee or to protect insurrectionists through the weaponization of government subcommittee, and you'll have names sooner rather than later. Thank you.